the person that actually likes you, that is actually more mild or not as bad as the person who pretends to dislike you more overtly and loudly, that person is going to perform dislike for you or distaste for you just to appease the more overt bully. In human social dynamics, the meanest, most ugliest person, and I'm talking ugly from the inside, that person could be such an ugly, bad person, such a bad seed, a bad soul, but they have a way of coercing people towards them, making people feel obligated to follow their lead, to listen to them, to walk like them, to talk like them. And people are able to consciously or subconsciously acknowledge that that person, no matter how loud they are, they're not necessarily righter or better. Even though these people acknowledge that, they still can't help but feel obligated to abide by that person and submit to the energetic trends that that person is trying to set. So when someone is talking so nice and playful and just like, you can tell that they're genuinely enjoying your company, then all of a sudden that loud, overtly disrespectful, mean, toxic person walks into the room, and all of a sudden that person switches up. You can see a change in their facial expressions, in the way that they talk to you, in their body language. And the change is seemingly projected towards you and not towards that person who collectively both of you don't like or see is more toxic. Don't take it personal, because what that means is both of those other parties are weaker than you. They don't have the strength, they don't have the gumption, they don't have the audacity and even the self-love and divine anointing to confidently be themselves, think for themselves, operate in their own reality and not up under someone else's wing, no matter if they get rejected for doing so or not. They don't have that type, that level of strength, divine strength. They don't have that. They also don't have the courage to speak up for themselves, to properly and maturely process their emotions. Because anyone who can properly and maturely process their emotions, is not projecting at people and making their insecurity or their jealousy other people's fault. They're making it their own responsibility. And they're eating that shit. They're doing shadow work on that shit. They're evolving past that shit. They're not bullying people or not dick riding just to feel like somebody. So just keep this in mind. It's happened to me before where me, like at least a few times in my lifetime, where me and someone, like, we were genuinely enjoying each other's company, and that other person is closer with the overtly toxic, mean, loud person. And that's another thing. Weak-minded people think that they may not necessarily think that the loudest person is the rightest, but they're not strong enough to know that they're not the rightest and still walk in their own lane, choose their own identity. They're like, yeah, I know you're not the rightest just because you're louder or meaner or toxically bolder, but I don't feel strong enough to be my own person and to stand up to you. Or I don't feel beautiful without you. I don't feel worthy without you. I don't feel lovable without you. So I'm just gonna follow your lead, right? Those people are weaker. And honestly, every time that it has happened to me, I should have taken it as a lesson to not associate myself with those people, no matter how nice they come off. Because deep down inside, deep down inside, at the end of the day, I meant to say at the end of the day, but deep down inside works too. At the end of the day, when it boils down to it, you're gonna know those type of individuals, those beta people, those very passive, like, submit, follow the leader type of people. At the end of the day, no matter how nice those type of people are to you, they are going to know that you're right. They're going to know how divinely righteous you are, how beautiful of a soul and a person you are, how good of a person you are, and they're going to still hop on the train of you being a bad person, still hop on the train of you being a problem maker, still hop on the train of you being unlikable or inherently unworthy. They're going to know your greatness, and they're even going to believe in it. They're not just going to know it, but they're going to believe in it. And they're still, at the end of the day, going to choose falsehood over giving you the respect and distinguishment that you deserve. All because they're in the presence or in the connection of someone who wouldn't do that. And the reason why they wouldn't do it is because they don't feel as beautiful enough of a soul, as beautiful enough of a person, as intelligent enough, as divinely favored enough as you are. They don't feel that to that degree. And that's why they can't credit you in the way that they want to. And in fact, they are so much so faced with the mirror in your presence that bullying you is the only way they can tolerate being in the same presence as you. You are a mirror to everything that they are not, everything that they could have been and didn't choose to become, all the opportunities they could have taken. You are a mirror for all of that. And the only way that they can tolerate being in a presence of such a beautiful, genuinely good person is to bully you, to dictate you, to try to have governance over you, to try to strip you of your autonomy, to try to force you into a box that quite frankly does not fit. It's obvious you don't fit into those boxes. It's obvious that you're not an ugly person. It's obvious you're not mean-spirited. It's obvious that you're not hateful. It's obvious that you're not a problem or just annoying or just, a being that doesn't deserve to. It's like all these things are obvious. They have to pervert the obvious, and they have to try to delude you and make you believe a reality of yourself that is not true, just so that they can feel better. And this goes for demons in the flesh and in the spirit. Spiritual warfare is real. Like, I got demons giving me dreams, giving me energies, trying to knock me off the righteous pedestal that I sit on. And when they cannot get to me in the spirit, they use other humans to do it. And you have to know how this shit works. You have to know the game so that it doesn't have power over you. They can't touch your spirit. They use their human minions to do so. And when their human minions can't do it, they get mad, they explode, and you get justice. You become more in proximity to God, to your God body, to God force, to divine beings. But when people do shit like that to you, when they do that flip on and off switch, don't even take that shit personal. Those people, the nice passive beta type people, those are the people, they'll smile in your face. They'll even compliment you on your greatness and still secretly be envious of you. Notice I didn't say jealous, envious of you, right? And it's all due to the fact that they lack that level of strength that I talked about. And you just have to keep rising above the bullshit. People want to confuse you. They want to be demonic agents. They are demonic agents because their vibration is not where it should be. To be in a universe that's divinely coded, their vibration is demonically coded. And they're trying to navigate a divine universe while having demonic coding. But they're bound to fail. They're bound to fail, even if it looks like they won for a second. Even if it looks like they're winning a battle. Even if it looks like, you know, they're handling a situation better than you are. All of that shit is an illusion. Because as a whole, they are corrupt. And at the end of the day, like I said, both types of demons, both types of demonic agents, both types of people, if you don't want to see it that way. At the end of the day, those two type of people are gonna conspire against you when it all boils down. It's no other way around it. They're gonna conspire against you. Don't matter how nice they were to you at first. Don't matter how mean they were. You cannot be surprised. I should say you cannot be surprised when they choose the opposing side because you knew who they were. Just because they weren't loud about it like the other agent, the other person, that doesn't mean that that was not who they were. And you have to group those type of people in the same category and not put them in separate categories. If you're going to be friends with someone who's passive aggressive, someone who don't know how to stand up for themselves, someone who follows someone like a dog that needs water, like a dog on a leash. If you're going to be friends with someone who acts like that, but is occasionally nice to you, or is always nice to you on the surface, right? You might as well be friends with the person that's talking shit about you, the person that's bullying you. the person that's being overtly disrespectful to you. Because at the end of the day, at the core, they're the same person because they share the same weaknesses. They're not strong enough to love you the way you deserve to be loved. They're not strong enough to support you the way you deserve to be supported. These people don't even love themselves. So they can play and talk nice, but they don't love you nor themselves enough to give you the support that you deserve. And you cannot wait for people to become overt or to choose the opposing side. You cannot wait for shit to tower and then they show their true colors before you protect yourself and say, I'm not gonna fuck with neither of these type of people. That's how you have to move until you can find someone who is just like you, just as great and divine and beautiful as you, and is capable of having human to human empathy and accountability, and is able to actually effectively heal and not perform to heal or not make excuses for themselves. You have to stay away from those type of people. Overt or covert